Parental discretion is advised.
What is up, guys? This week on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, we talk to Ring of Honor and Chikara entrance theme composer Kenny Pickett. We talk about Ryback. We talk about what would happen if Cena was broken. What is a TNA Live Impact like? The magic of a heel turn. All that, and we're joined for the entire show by our very special guest, Matt Carlins. This is a good one, folks. Stick around.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
Hey guys, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show number 367, right? Is that right? Is that what it says in the notes? Hey, I am so glad to see you. I am so glad we've arrived to the beginning of this show. Check out Gold if you want to know what the hell I'm talking about. But this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show coming at you from the Mayhem Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where wrestling was made. No, that's not true, but it should have been. With me, as usual, is the man from the cave, from the lower boughs of the Allegheny River, Papa LB, DJ Lunchbox. How you doing?
That's right, folks. I'm coming to you live from the Sophie Maslow Safe House, under the heart of the three rivers, many, many fathoms under the sea. I had a backup in my plumbing, you may have noticed last week, and the fountain in the point was working. Sorry about that. Probably won't happen again. This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and it's a magnificent time. I just burped. Joining us also this week, from the hot, hot, hot state of Texas, United States, WrestleFan. What's up, WrestleFan?
I'm doing awesome. It is a hot, hot state. We did get a huge thunderstorm though last night, which scared the shit out of me because I don't know why like water was falling from the sky. I think the world's coming to an end, guys. It's the devil's work. So yeah, it's Wrestling Mayhem Show time. I'm excited, and I'm super duper excited because we have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
Right now, he is our pal in the mainstream media, going to the not-so-mainstream media this week, Mr. Matt Carlins. Matt, how are you doing?
Damn right. Great to be here, WrestleFan. I've climbed down from my ivory tower, high atop, the highest of the high of the mainstream media, to crawl down here and wallow in the muck and the mire of the dirty underground of the internet podcasting community. I'm in way over my head, but I brought HBK with me. I got some backup. Thanks for having me, Sorg.
No problem.
I'm so excited.
No problem.
It seemed like HBK is watching your back and possibly some other things. I don't know. He's got a look in his eyes. I'm kind of scared.
He's pondering. He's pondering.
Just strike the pose right there.
And either way, through all that, I think I have a new description for the podcast in iTunes. Hey there, guys. This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. If you found it, it's probably on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, or YouTube. Or you can go to any of those things at whatever works for you.
If you found us on anything else besides those things, that's not us.
That's not us. This is a fraud. This is the pirated version of this Creative Commons podcast. But you can also drop a line and let us know about your pirating ways at Good Times.
Good times.
Good Times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com at 412-206-WMS0. Or you can buy the app WMS Gold on your iPhone or Android device, iOS App Store, and Amazon App Stores. It gives you quick access to all the episodes audio-wise. The WMS Gold bonus material that we do every week. Some fantastic stuff this week and some frustrating stuff this week. And all that, and it supports the show. We got a check from all of you that bought it mid-last year. Just now. So if you bought it now, you'll buy me a hot dog in about a year. So we're taking everybody to Burger King.
Woo! Burger King party.
Burger King party. But the dollar menu. And of course, we're going to start the show the only way we know how, when we figure out how to start the show, with the fan mail. Who's got the first one?
I'll do it.
All right. What? You're fighting?
Fucker. God damn it,
do you want to do it in the order?
God damn it, WrestleFan.
I think Lunchbox, you can take it. Take it, Lunchbox. Do your thing.
Take it home. Take it home.
I'll do the foreign. I'll do the foreign ones. How about that?
Okay.
Do that. Well,
right.
okay, yeah, do that.
All right. Hola, amigos. Es el Gran Azul. Ya estoy de vuelta de unas manquestadas vacaciones del México, por lo que vamos el hablar de la lucha libre. Monday Night Raw fue bastante correctamente, pero le falta algo. No puedo poner mi dedo en la llaga. Oh, lo sé, sin cara. WWE. Traer de vuelta el gran luchador pronto. ¡Ole!
Hooray!
Wait 1 second. I lost my spot.
The spot that says Google Translate.
Google Translate. Hello, friends. It's me. It's El Gran Azul. I'm back from a much-needed vacation in Mexico, so let's talk about wrestling. Monday Night Raw was quite alright, but it was missing something. I can't put my finger on it. Oh, I know. Sin Cara. WWE, please bring back the great wrestler soon. Ole!
Hooray!
Hooray!
Why do you sound like a vampire?
Yeah, I realized there was a little Transylvanian in my accent there. Don't fucking judge me, Sorg. I was doing my best, and it's the first time I ever did it.
Sure.
I was hoping it'd be like Jesse the Body Ventura when I would discover a talent I didn't know I had.
Gorilla.
What do you got, WrestleFan?
I got one from our good friend Mad Mike, who sends in a email saying, "Greetings, Mayhemers.
Hey.
Just a couple quick notes. Sorg, sorry that was the impact that you saw live because it was a stinker of a show from my vantage point. 2 knockouts matches, nothing but mid-carders, and Sting and Hogan literally redoing an angle from 1998 in WCW does not a good show make, regardless of how much Christopher Daniels is on it. The only good part was the Sabin promo package. Hope he didn't injure himself again.
Yeah, he didn't actually.
No? That promo package.
Should I insert now? It was a fantastic show. We'll probably get a little bit more on the round table. It looked like it was fun. It was way better in person than watching on TV probably then. Really good women's matches. Like we were entertained by all of them. I mean, the worst thing was anything involving Robbie E. Really. But it was fine. It was just fine.
It was all dandy. It
was worth the hour-and-a-half drive and free tickets.
That'll do it.
And $5 Mountain Dews.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know, right?
As far as Raw goes, nice to see that Ryback has gone full Goldberg. You never go full Goldberg. I like the Caitlyn Secret Admirer gimmick thing, although if it turns out to be fucking Hornswoggle or his Bizarro clone WrestleFan, I'm fucking done. I really hope AJ and Caitlyn have an Extreme Rules match at the pay-per-view. They deserve a big stage. I'm glad the Columbus crowd didn't boo Cena with the Make-A-Wish kids. That was a really cool moment, and the reason I can never really hate Cena. Although Nick the Stitch should have been nicknamed Nikki Flash, because as we all know, Nikki rhymes with Flash.
What?
Although that first match was fucking hilarious. Also that first match was fucking hilarious. And it's exactly something like I would have booked for those 3 characters. And the ladder match should be a great match. White Alchemist, ending transmission.
I can handle this one from Alex Cars. Howdy, 10%ers. This is your boy Alex Cars with a question. Last week's interview with Tom Filzinger got me thinking of that always fun hobby known as e-fetting, aka fantasy wrestling. With that in mind, Mayhemers, I was curious, have any of you partaken in this hobby, whether online or play by mail or whatever else? Does backyard wrestling count?
Sort of e-fetting.
I think that eliminates the E from e-fetting.
I see. I have not. I've actually not.
I haven't, I guess, necessarily officially. The closest thing that I came to e-fetting was like when I was like 10 or so. I used to like write out these like wrestling cards that I would book, and like not to like post online or anything because the internet really wasn't that big, but like just to like type out and print out. Like I used to book like reunion ECW shows that were the most clusterfuck like bullshit ever.
So they're just like a real a reunion ECW show.
Yeah, it's like it's like, oh, I'm gonna reinvent ECW, and this is me being 10 years old, first discovering ECW. I think I booked like the main event was like a 6-way match, which is all these random heavy top level guys in there.
That sounds accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I ever came to e-fetting. I didn't do it like officially, like online or anything, but.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I used to do it with my action figures quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we've engaged in some rampant speculation, like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened here on the show? But I think that's more armchair quarterbacking, I think they call it, than e-fetting.
No, Riz, ACH wasn't a thing back then.
He was in WrestleFan's heart.
What about you, Matt? You ever partake in any fantasy booking or e-fetting?
I think the closest I've ever gotten was kind of what WrestleFan was talking about, except I think we were all in college and we would get drunk at the bar at night and kind of invent our own wrestling gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of funny because I was talking to one of my buddies, Jack, earlier this week, and we were reminiscing about one of my favorite made-up wrestling gimmicks, which was the stressed-out soccer dad who would drive into the arena in a minivan as if he were Alberto Del Rio, except he's in a minivan full of screaming, bratty kids, and dominate matches for the most part until Susie needs her diaper changed or something like that, and he would have to go out of the ring and scold the kids and then get back into the ring and keep wrestling. And then it could extrapolate along that ways where the kids start passing him steel chairs out of the minivan and during his hardcore matches and things like that. But no, I have never taken part in an e-fed. That's the answer to your question, but
and then
I just had to take advantage of that opportunity to throw that out there for you.
And then Mad Mike actually responded in the email thread. He still does in a forum he's been a part of for over 10 years, actually. So, and WrestleFan, nobody cares about your rain stories.
Yeah, because
that was an amazing delay on the feed.
Texas Anarchy's on a super delay.
Wow. Anyways, over at live.sorgatronmedia.com, sometimes it doesn't work so well either. Excellent. So, who wants the Riz mail?
I'll do it.
All right.
I already have another one. Oh,
Yeah,
in the pipeline.
Yes, it's for you. The Riz mail. WMS! I don't really have much to say about wrestling and stuff, but I found something interesting. Ever notice whenever someone's FaceTime gets too old, so much so that we dislike him with a passion? Why is it the very first thing we say about him is, you know what he needs to do? He needs to go heel. John Cena, Randy Orton, and to a certain extent Sheamus are at this stage of the game, and WWE knows you want them to turn heel. What's going to happen when John Cena or Randy Orton or Zack Ryder turn heel? WWE knows that you want John Cena to turn heel. They know that Randy Orton as a face isn't the best thing in the world. They know that Kane as a face is a pussy, and that him as a heel would cause the monster to come loose. ... WWE knows. WWE also knows that when that happens, and probably with the exception of Cena will happen, more people will like another heel. Yes, Randy Orton as a heel would be awesome. However, Randy Orton as a heel would also make people enjoy Randy Orton and counterbalance the people who dislike Randy Orton. Yes, John Cena as the new Hulk Hogan leading the new world order with the Shield would be cool. You know what reaction you would see? With the kids cheering and adult males booing, it's going to be reversed, and you're still going to have that hot crowd that everyone talks about whenever he comes out to a mixed reaction. Yes, Zack Ryder as a heel would. Nah. Also, little advice from Riz to you. If you want to turn heel, wear a black beanie and grow some stubble. Riz rules. I would disagree with that last statement.
I love how he turned like heel booking into a word problem.
Word problem.
That was interesting. LB.
Is it time?
It's time.
Ooh. Hey, it's me. It's Big PPC. Fan of the year. Complain, whine. Ugh, he can't spell. He has weird font. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, wrestling stuff happened. Started new job this week. So, questions. If you could make an all-time favorite Four Corners tag team match with teams of 2 at each corner, which all-time favorite tag teams would you choose? Hart Foundation versus Owen Hart and Yokozuna versus Harlem Heat. versus Kaz and Christopher Daniels.
Wow.
So, till next week, it's me, it's a big BBC sent from the FM.
There you go. So what would you pick, LB?
Let's see here. The old Steiner brothers. Sabu and RVD. Yeah, Heart Foundation. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry Funk and Mankind.
Or Chainsaw Charlie or Terry
Chainsaw,
Funk?
yeah, whatever. Chainsaw Charlie. Just
Okay.
fucking put those two together
Okay.
in any gimmick they feel like doing that day.
I'm feeling some Heart Foundation, Demolition, Dudley's, and I'm having
Dudley's.
trouble with that last one.
Edge and Christian. I forgot about Edge and Christian.
How about some Harlem Heat?
That's good.
That's a good one
Wrestle
too.
fan.
Coming from
Mine
you,
would
Ninja.
be Road Warriors, Dudley Boys, Team Road Scholar, because I really love what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm going to go ECW, and I'm going to say the Eliminators.
Nice.
Here you go, Matt.
You know, I actually forgot about someone. I want to throw in Techno Team 2000.
No match is complete without Techno Team 2000.
True. Matt.
Which means every match but 4.
Oh, let's see. I'll see your Techno Team 2000. I'll take Los Villanos.
Wow.
Yes!
And
Listen,
I
like-
will then get serious, and I will say Harlem Heat. I will say the Dudleys. And I'll go with Vintage Eliminators as the fourth team.
Wow.
I had a discussion about Los Villanos this weekend. God, I love the Villanos.
Wasn't it like Volano 4 and 5, like a random number like
those are
that?
the best ones. Those are the
4 and
best.
5 were the best
Machines.
numbers.
I forgot the machines.
The machines.
Yeah.
Machines were the best gimmick ever. Excellent, and I think that is all. You know, let's. We do have another one from AJ, but let's hold that over to the discussion later on. So I think that is the actual email. So let's go to the voicemails. Now we had a pretty good selection of them this week. I have like 3 from yesterday. All right, this is the one. This is one from last Thursday. So you know the context here. Maybe.
Possibly.
Oh, I gotta do that thing. Sorry.
It is Bo fucking diggity. Now, thank you, Lunchbox, for your
Oh, I
well
got a
done
text.
impression 2 weeks ago. I haven't listened that often. I've been dealing with pants filled with poop. Not mine, it's Child's. And
Glad to clarify.
it's a lot to keep up with.
So what's going on here?
Oh no.
Unfaded.
Hold on, I'm turning off Twitter so it doesn't happen again.
So,
Phil.
So
Oh, there we go.
That will change soon. But not right now. Let me jump into this real quick. I have problems not doing wrestling moves to my son. Like, I have to force my brain to go, no, he's not old enough yet. Case in point, baby onesies have a lot of snaps, and they open across the chest because putting a shirt over a baby's head is the worst. Right? It is the worst thing in the world. Because you feel like you're going to snap their neck and suffocate them at the same time. So, dear clothing makers, stop doing that. But anyways, the snaps open, and it takes all of me to not hush the entire room like Big Show would and smack him in the chest. I want to do it. I can't. I know I shouldn't, and I don't because I am a dad.
Like confession.
it's a good way to not have a baby anymore.
And every time I just want to go smack, and I don't. But it's real hard. It is really hard. Wrestling was fun or stupid this week. I can't remember. No, it was stupid last week. It was kind of fun this week. William Regal deserves everything in the world. And then, obviously, you're going to listen to this next week. So, I can't believe that guy did that thing. that was stupid. Why did they do that thing? But that other thing was pretty sweet. But that other thing was really dumb, and they really need to stop doing that. Okay, bye. Bo left diggity. The F is for diapers filled with shit. Shit, I tell you, shit.
There was.
Bye.
I was going to say, I was about
can
to
I
say
offer
there's
some
no F
parenting
in
advice?
there, but filled does have an F.
What's that, Matt?
Sorg, I want to offer Bo Diggity I want to offer Bo Diggity a little parenting advice, as I am a what you would call a veteran parent of 2 boys. Listen, Bo Diggity. Wrestling moves to your kids right now, no good. Too young. But tell you what, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, you're going to be chucking them around the room like they're Rey Mysterio and your Big Van Vader. It's going to kick ass, buddy. You're going to love every minute of it. I give my 3-year-old about 3 or 4 AAs every day. The 6-year-old learned to fight back a little bit, goes and gets like the foreign objects. But Bo Diggity, believe me, wrestling moves on the kids, just give it a couple years. You're going to enjoy every minute of it.
Amazing. Excellent. I sometimes perform moves on my Chihuahua.
Oh.
Strong.
I tried to do that before with my Boston Bull. It doesn't work.
Fucking diggity. Now, I know this is my second phone on the speaker. I'm so fucking diggity. Also, time is weird to me now because I have a child and I don't understand how sunrise and sunsets work. It's just one long time of being awake. When I'm back to a generally regular sleep schedule, yay!
It's not going to last.
You guys were talking about first the big TV.
This is where he gets cut off, and then he calls back.
Does he redo the woo?
I don't know, but and then I got like 2 more from him. This can't be accurate. Sure it is. Hold on, no,
I'm sure it's good.
This isn't right. This isn't right. This is the wrong order.
I don't know.
Yeah, it sent me 2 at like the same time. Huh.
He's Bo Diggity. He's full of magic.
You never cut me off! I'm sorry! You bitch! Anyways, Dolph Ziggler being booked up. This is what they do to the Money in the Bank champion. Why? Because they want to make it look like it was kind of a fluke that he won. That he wasn't ready. And he got the title because somebody had already beaten up the champ.
True.
So they booked the Money in the Bank winner post-title win song so that they can say, hey, this guy kind of won on a fluke. And then he goes on to prove himself and then becomes a guy like a CM Punk. Or even Swagger. Swagger was booked off the shit after he won.
Yep.
And then he actually, built himself up, and now you can put him in main event and have him booked in good matches and have him win. Or you can have him go on a terribly long losing streak and then he goes to the bar. Either one. I do like Ziggler Pop, whatever you want to call it. I love what they did with Ryback. They gave him an actual complex storyline to work with. I love that he explained everything. And it was awesome. And I want him to stop your shouting, beat me more. I love the fact that he's completely dropped that shit too. Like, they don't even chant beat me more anymore. He just stopped. He doesn't even yell beat me more in Mick Foley's face. Also, Mick Foley, you shut the fuck up. Go away. Everything Ryback said was kind of like, so sorry, Nick, that was not your time. It was not your space. Anyways, this has been Bo fucking Diggity. Bo F Diggity. The F is for fucking Bo. Why don't you ever cut me off? You fucking fuckface. There. Fine.
Wow.
I'm angry, but
Why is he
Parenting will do that to you.
Why is he so angry at Foley?
I don't know. I'm not angry at Foley, but he does make a point. Like, they brought out the thing with Foley. Like, they brought him out for no reason. They brought him out because he had a DVD out, and somehow they're like, "We're going to try to make this relate to John Cena versus Ryback."
He's around because he's doing Saturday Morning Slam spots.
No, but they didn't even mention Saturday Morning Slam when he was out there.
No. But I'm just saying he's around, so they're going to use him.
He has every right to be around, just not in segments.
Wait, what's this? What did this turn into? Like him not having a right to be around?
I don't understand what's happening right now.
Matt,
don't know.
Matt, your
I
thoughts?
would prefer him. I
Are we
would prefer
talking
him-
about Mick Foley's
The
rights
problem
to
with
get
Foley
married
is that
to
of
his
all the
partner?
guys from that Attitude Era, he's the one who keeps coming back over and over again. He's the one who won't go away. He
True.
keeps coming back, even when you don't want him there. It's just... And they keep dragging him back, and I guess Mick's a good company guy, and he'll keep doing these things for them as he goes along. But the law of diminishing returns is like way, way, way down the road by this point.
It would mean a lot more if they were more spaced out, and
Mhm.
he actually came back when he could add something to a storyline that does in some way relate to him or deal with him.
Well, yeah,
that's-
you could say that about any single wrestler on the roster, but
Well,
sometimes
yeah.
they just fucking show up. Sheamus, for instance.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
even get me started on Sheamus.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
talk
want to
about-
get you started on Sheamus. Let's talk about how he's a big, pale fucking asshole.
He's a
Yes.
I think he's-
douchebag.
I think he's the top heel in the company.
Mhm.
I really do.
What did Mark Henry do last night?
When's the last
That's-
time Sheamus did something nice
Yeah.
to anybody?
When was the last time Sheamus helped an old lady across the street?
I'm not saying he has to help
crazy.
old ladies across the street, but he did a douchey thing last night, Sorg.
Yes, he did.
Guys, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The
So-
greatest trick that Sheamus Pale Devil ever pulled was convincing the world he was a face.
What the fuck?
Guys are
On that note, we're going to toss to this. We'll get a DVD coming up and a very musical interview. Hey guys, back again. Go check out those DVDs over at sorgatronmedia.com/store. Of course, it is interview time, guys. That's the happy sounds. That's where you get happy. Like, we don't have a studio audience. I can't get applause. Can I get some yays from the guys? Yeah!
Let's talk to people.
Let's talk to people. Let's talk to people.
Let's try to be social.
Let's attempt to be social with new people. Tonight we have joining us a very special lady. I just was talking with these guys. Last week we had Tom Filsinger of Filsinger Games, who, among other things, does the Chikara and Ring of Honor card games. And we have somebody else this week that has a similar connection to those two groups. Not a similar. You'll get the idea. Kenny Pickett. Well, let's have him tell us what exactly he does. He's a musician, etc., a songwriter, I imagine, and
That's
all
right.
that kind of stuff. Tell us, who is Kenny Pickett?
Well, my name is Kenny Pickett, as you've covered already. I write theme songs for Chikara and sometimes Ring of Honor, not as often as I'd like, but mostly Chikara. I went to Berklee College of Music, and I live in New York, and I write my own songs as well, as you'll find out later in the interview, I'm assuming.
Excellent, excellent. Now, so how did you get connected with the wrestling angle?
Originally, I had a friend who was working as a referee for Ring of Honor, and he works for NWA Hollywood now.
Mhm.
And he got me my first writing gig for Ring of Honor, which was actually for Bryan Danielson.
Nice.
When they shifted over to TV and he couldn't use the Final Countdown anymore that he'd been using. Europe, everybody knows the Final Countdown. So I had to make just a knockoff version of just like a sound-alike of something that would sound enough like the Final Countdown but not get them sued. So I remember doing it and then reading the Ring of Honor results in like some, dirt sheets later, and it was the one comment was Bryan Danielson debuted tonight with a new theme song, which everyone was openly against in the crowd. So that was
wrestling
good.
fans for you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm looking for a reaction, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
better that they booed than sat on their hands.
Yeah, but I think the stack was against you because I think I read those same. I remember reading those reports when they first went on TV, and
Yep.
it was like, it's one of those things. Like everybody wants the songs they know from the
Yeah.
indies and everything, and you just cannot do that, especially on their level on TV. It's so tough.
Like I've read it, some people on the internet now with the Colony in Chikara, they had Ants Marching by the Dave Matthews Band, which was hilarious as their theme song, and I had to do a sound alike to that, and everyone was like, "This isn't the same thing." Yeah, but I'm not paying Dave Matthews, $20,000 to have some ants wrestle for 20 minutes.
It's one of those things where I know I read recently that I didn't watch ECW a lot, like when it was on, but like that they got the Sandman. They got the cover of Enter Sandman and not the Metallica version, stuff like that. Or think of the Self High Five song from our DDP. That was
all those WCW
Nirvana
songs.
I mean, those are horrible.
Yeah, they're terrible. The Raven WCW song is like the worst. It's just a Pearl Jam ripoff.
The Dreamer had a bad one too, didn't he?
Everyone in WCW, except for the NWO, of course, had a horrible theme song. Jericho's theme song in WCW is terrible.
I don't even remember what it was. It was just like
just like rock guitars.
It was just probably like the equivalent of what Yoshitatsu comes out to now, right?
Well, that music is genius.
Here's some random royalty-free music. Here we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, how many places do you hear the Hardy Boys theme?
Yeah, the Hardy Boys theme. That's right.
Awesome. I take it from the Ring of Honor connection, you got rolled into Chikara.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, actually, after I wrote a couple little things for Ring of Honor, I kind of fell out of it for a little while. Until a friend of mine brought me to a Chikara show, and I loved it. And then afterwards, I just emailed Chikara, and I was like, "Hey, I'm this person. Here's all my credentials. Do you guys need original theme songs?" And they're like, "Yes, you're hired."
Wow,
great. So that's pretty much that story of how that happened.
So that gives you an idea of how accessible Chikara is.
They're extremely accessible. You can just email. I think it's right there on the website. I've got this exclusive email now, but yeah, you can talk to them as much as you want.
And they've always been very, very close to to the fan service thing. Like I've attended their fan claves for King of Trios and stuff, and they've always been really cool, really close to their fans. Like I think even more so than a lot of other indies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So excellent. So you from there you don't just do wrestling though, right? So what outside of wrestling, what do you do music wise?
I write my own songs. I was working on a variety show in Brooklyn for a good long time called The Moon, which you can check out at themoonshow.com if you want to see anything from that. But now I'm just focusing on getting this album together and trying to get my name out there as a solo artist, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah. So what are we looking for in this Kickstarter? What kind of music? I'm into X, I'm going to be into this.
Sure, it's like power pop music. So like your Cheap Tricks, your even Rick Springfield's, like just big pop harmonic music that is sounds like a metal band that wants to be on the radio, essentially. So a lot of harmonies, a lot of loud guitars, a lot of it's basically if Rick Springfield was singing about science fiction and time travel and professional wrestling and the technological singularity. Stuff like that.
Awesome.
So this isn't like obviously you have the wrestling connection. People heard your work, what you've done from there. But like content wise, this is going to still have a little bit of wrestling connection that a lot of us are going to appreciate. Then.
Oh sure. I mean, there's I do some rap on it as well,
nice.
And it's always good to drop a good wrestling reference in a rap. And then I've got a song that was inspired by the death of the lovely Miss Elizabeth.
Oh wow!
That I've got on there.
So it gets a little heavy.
Yeah, it gets a little heavy.
Excellent. So you've turned to Kickstarter. We had a little bit of your video playing here. I guess the first question is why Kickstarter?
Well, I've had some friends who have had success with it in the past, doing a web series and books and stuff, and I've seen what it can do, and I just love the idea of essentially I'm selling the album before it comes out, so. You're pledging to for me to make it, but you're also just getting it immediately. So it's basically like if I were to cover my own costs and try to sell enough to break even, I'm just doing that up front instead of going out of pocket and then doing that. And then everybody gets involved too. It's just a fun thing to do, I think.
Awesome.
I think it's the way things are going.
It's yeah, I mean, we were looking at a little bit earlier of like somebody's using this for glowing plants, and they'll send you seeds or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
And we talked a lot about the crowdfunding over on our Awesome Cast show. So it definitely, and one thing that's interesting is it also gives you the idea that people want this.
Yeah, it's good because the internet gives just a lot of like niche markets just accessibility to whatever they want essentially. Like if there's a carpenter who only makes like giant feet out of wood, and there's an audience for that, you can crowdfund a whole big giant fleet of wooden feet, and people can buy them.
Yeah, they have to say like the one of the key factors with these Kickstarters is a really good video that catches people's attention. This was a fun video. Like I say, when I was sent it, I was like, who is this guy? I checked out his Kickstarter. I'm like, okay, this is funny. This is a pretty good video.
Great. I'm glad you think that. We spent like a good day, me and my friend James, who shot it for me, just brainstorming ideas, and then at the very end, I was like, we should just go to the zoo. that was it.
What did you guys shoot on?
That I'm not the guy to ask about that. A camera.
So that's a great thing. Is like I've seen these made with iPhone cams and stuff, and those things are great. If you just go and you're creative, it's definitely like not like. It's not the movies, but it was entertaining and I thought pretty well done.
Great.
So excellent. So what if people are putting their money towards it? Of course, as of this broadcast, you're at $23.20 of your $3,000 goal.
Actually, $23.20 and 76 cents. Someone gave me $17.76 for America. They told me. I thought that was nice.
Did they say "We the People" at the end of it?
Yeah, hashtag We the People.
Nice. For America. You can even do that, and people do that. Yeah, you can pledge whatever you want. It's not
whatever
just
you want.
What is on you. You can throw $1. You can throw 2 cents at them. Maybe.
And every donation gets a digital copy of the album, no matter how small. So
right off the bat, you drop $1, you get a digital copy. What else are you offering up here for people who want to give a little bit more to it?
Oh, we're going to have a physical copy of the CD, of course, and then a poster of some great artwork. That there's a preview of it there at the video. It's not totally finished, but it's going to be along those lines by a guy named Tad Kimball, who's a great artist. And there's other stuff. It gets higher, you get it autographed. There's a point where I'll write a song for you. I think $200 or $250 is I'll write a song for you about whatever you want. $100 I'll cover any song you want in whatever style you want. And then there's the higher up you go. $1,000. Anyone that wants to give me $1,000, I'll perform a one-man version of any musical you want, just for you personally, either on Skype or in your house or anything like that. And then $3,000, we'll sit down and watch Veronica Mars in its entirety. Anyone wants to give me the whole thing.
There you go. Hey, we're very topical. Was this around when the Veronica Mars thing happened on?
Oh, it sure was. That was another reason I did it. When that happened, I was like, well, I have to do one now. This is what's going on.
Veronica Mars can pull that off.
Yeah,
of course you can. Now Zach Braff's getting in the game. It's all over.
Yeah, that's
now.
A little too much. I think that guy's crazy.
Zach Braff is over the line. Got it. Excellent. WrestleFan, you're the indie guy here. You have any questions for our guy?
I do. I was curious. You've a lot of pieces. I really love the stuff you've been doing for Chikara. But one of my personal favorites was the one you did for a man known as Archibald Peck when he made his transformation to one mixed martial Archie called Kicking Attack.
Kicking Attack, yeah, I love that song. That whole project was great. He is a guy who really thinks a lot about his character and the way he plays it, and like the way it evolves, and like the whole plan at that was at High Noon, right, when that whole thing happens.
I believe so, yeah.
Review. And he came out as Mixed Martial Archie, and who was it, Mr. Touchdown, who stole Veronica away from him. Then he had to come out, as Mixed Martial Archie to try and, be a tough guy. And then realized he had to be himself all along, and then came back. So that was exciting to have like my music be such a huge part of that angle. It was really great. And he gave me so many like pointers along the way. He was like, "This is what we're going for." Like a lot of the guys, you know, not to say anything bad about them, but they'll be like, "Yeah, you know, I like this kind of music. This is who I'm doing." But he's like really, really hands on with that stuff. It's great.
And that's the thing I loved about the song. I think it was very in depth, and I think listening to it, you can sort of understand the story of Archibald Peck without even watching Chikara.
Yeah, that's great. That's what we were going for. I'm glad that came across that way.
Awesome. It's great. It's great. Like you said, you know, some people don't seem to put that much in their music. I know I've seen, and you've been any Indian show, you've probably seen this. Somebody just comes out to the wrong music for them.
Mm-hmm.
like there's this guy that I presume he's Russian, calls himself Zubov. He's a bald guy, and he comes out to what does he come? I wish Chachi was here to tell me. Like jump around or something like that. You know, or it's somebody's birthday or something like that. It's like weird hip hop music, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, or some like slash metal thing that has a way too long intro that we sit there for a minute and a half.
Yeah, and it's sad though that you only see that in the indies. Like you'll never see a guy in WWE come out and be like, "Why does this guy have this music?" Like you'll hear the music and then think of what that guy might look like in your head, and then he comes out and it's like, yeah, that's what the Funkasaurus looks like, definitely.
Although the Daniel Bryan music, I would question. I mean,
Sure.
we're all kind of on board with it now, but when they first did it was like, I don't get that.
It was definitely stepping out of the way. But then they added the guitars to it, and it was
Now it's cool.
yeah, it's totally cool.
I remember at the time it was interesting because he started coming out to that, and I think Sarah Del Rey was coming out to it in Ring of Honor.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was a really weird like time when they're still on HDNet or something like that. So, excellent.
Is there any talk of Sarah Del Rey ever wrestling in WWE? Is that a thing that's going to happen or not?
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. She's there training, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she is my favorite wrestler by far. She is the greatest. I'm waiting for her to just kill Caitlyn.
We did have one comment / question from the chat room. Alex out in Long Beach, he's asking, he says he's into baby making music. Is there any baby making music on there?
Baby making music. Well, it depends on what kind of baby you're trying to make, I guess. But I'm going to just say yes, definitely, without a doubt.
Don't know if it's your kind of baby, but it could be happening. LB, you got any questions here?
I do. Excuse me. I do have a couple of questions, actually. As a musician, you know, you've established your kind of the kind of music you make. What is the most embarrassing thing that you've been listening to lately?
Oh man, what have I been listening
Guilty
to?
pleasure, but just can't get it out of your head.
It's hard to be embarrassed by listening to anything when you like play music so much. But what am I listening to? You know, I love. You know what was great that I heard recently was that "Call Me Maybe" 9 Inch Nails mashup. Have you guys heard this?
Oh yeah.
The Head Like a Hole vocals by 9 Inch Nails over the music from "Call Me Maybe." That's like on constant rotation on my iPod, and then like I listen to a lot of instrumental music, like John Tesh, "Round Ball Rock," the old NBA on NBC theme song.
Nice.
I constantly listen to that, but yeah, I listen to like pop, like top 40 music. I guess that's what people would call a guilty pleasure. At least in my peer group, I suppose.
Cool.
Yeah.
My other question for you is, if you had to pick one, or possibly two, because why not? What is the greatest wrestling entrance theme of all time?
I was hoping for this question. I've been thinking about it for days. And every time my immediate gut reaction is Gold Dust. I love that music so much. I think that is the greatest theme song. But it's hard to not get excited when you hear The Rock's music though. I gotta say, when you hear "If You Smell What the Rock Is Cooking" and it kicks in, like I was at WrestleMania and I was like, I hate The Rock. But when that music hit, I was like, The Rock is awesome. And I can't wait for him to beat people up. They lost.
Makes sense.
Man, John Cena.
That John Cena.
You gotta appreciate.
I'm a Cena fan. Another great theme song.
So you got to appreciate people that come out to their own music.
Oh yeah,
That doesn't happen too often.
no.
It doesn't happen too often, and then actually fits them.
There's another. Mark Henry's theme song. Also, I always get excited about that.
Yes.
I always want to see somebody's wig get split every time.
You're probably a good question. Got to ask this question. What do you think of? And again, that was one that like the crowd was singing. I think what the New Jersey crowd, right? Or there might be even one after that. What do you think of like something like the Fandango theme, like becoming as big as it has?
I love it. I love the Fandango theme song. I bought it on iTunes. That's another song that's been constantly playing in my apartment. Like I played it the other day on loop for I'm gonna say 20 minutes, and we're going through chores and doing stuff. Just da 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 da. It's so infectious. I love it. I hope it's the most popular song of all time.
I looked like I figured it was one of those throwaway like track deals, but there's a Jim Johnston credit to that thing.
Oh yeah, he wrote that song. And then have you seen the new T-shirt though, with the Fandango logo on the front and then the actual sheet music on the back?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's great.
Definitely appreciate that one. I had a question. I think it was from Alex or Mike. I'll have to double check here, but he said if they give you $1,000, would you punch Jim Johnston in the balls?
No, I don't think I could do that to Jim Johnson. No way.
You can't.
But maybe for $1,000 I would. But I'd have to be very apologetic about it.
And there's.
I mean, he wrote the Rougeau Brothers theme song. How can you?
Oh wait, no, they were offering $40 for that.
Oh, no way. No way. No deal.
Awesome. Well, we have something special here planned, but before that, I think we need to deliver, Albie, if you would like to, the big question.
The big question. Why, yes. We here on the Mayhem Show, everyone we interview, we like to wrap things up with the big question. You can tell a lot about a person when they answer this question, and so here we go. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you could be any kind of vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
Wow, that is a great question. Let's see. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with carrot.
That's a good choice. That's a very popular choice.
There's a good
Carrot, popular choice. That's a solid vegetable, I think.
Definitely.
Yep.
Excellent.
There you
All
go.
right. And this is a first again for the Mayhem Show. We're going to try to see. We're going to have a live performance, right?
Let's see if it works.
All righty.
All right. So I'm going to play my lovely Elizabeth song,
Excellent.
titled simply Elizabeth. Let's see if this. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Great. Let me get my kazoo out here. All right, this is Elizabeth by Kenny Pickett. I miss the time when we were a nation of two, and I've been trying not to think about you, but I can't help but picture you walking around in that pearl white, elegant evening gown. The way you always stood up for me by my side. The way you smile through the times you should have cried. I'm sorry, Liz, for treating you the way I did. Now it's too late to share the feelings that I hid. Elizabeth, I miss your breath on my neck. I've been a wreck since you left me. I'm trying hard to keep the beat inside my heart, but I still need you to help me. It's been hard to live my life all alone, and I've still got your number in my telephone. I'm feeling irrelevant, out of my element, trying to hold on tight, but I can't stop seeing your face all through the night. Elizabeth, I miss your breath on my neck. I've been a wreck since you left me. I'm trying hard to keep the beat inside my heart, but I still need you to help me. You stuck with me through the highs and lows, and I know that you can't come back. I'm still holding my breath. Elizabeth, since you left, I haven't been the same. Oh no! Elizabeth, I miss your breath on my neck. I've been a wreck since you left me. I'm trying hard to keep the beat inside my heart, but I still need you to help me. Thank you. It's for the lovely Elizabeth.
That was awesome.
Our studio
God
audience.
damn, that was fantastic.
That was awesome. They were loving it in the chat room.
Good. I love a good chat room.
They said that this is at least tied for Mayhem of Interview of the Year with Freight Train.
Oh, well, if I'm up there with Freight Train. I know the internet's behind me.
Start that Kickstarter and buy that immediately. That is fantastic.
Thank you so much. Excellent. Yeah, there's going to be a whole full band version of that on the album. It's going to be a big song. Excellent.
So go check that out. Where can they find you? What's the best place? Of course, Twitter.
You can go to kennypickett.com. It's got information about the Kickstarter, some other songs. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a fan page and a normal page. I believe the fan page is facebook.com/kennypickettmusic. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And you have some samples of some other music up there?
Oh, yeah, all over the place. And, just find me on Twitter, ask me questions, talk to me. I'm on the internet, ready to go.
Awesome. Kenny Pickett, go check him out. KennyPickett.com. Go support his Kickstarter. You got 7 days left as of tonight here. So go even just put $1 in. Hey, every little bit helps make it happen, of course. And with that, we're going to toss it to you, WrestleFan, for the Indie Minute.
Thanks, Sorg. It was great talking to one Kenny Pickett.
That was awesome. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go fund his Kickstarter right now.
Hell yeah. He made Mayhem show history with our first ever live musical performance. And now it's time for something that we do every week, and people hate me for it. It's the Indie Minute.
Indie Minute, 60 seconds of wrestling.
It's never 60 seconds. It's like when you do like a time limit draw in a match, but it's clearly not going 15 minutes or 20 minutes or however long they say.
Broadway, WrestleFan, Broadway.
Okay, so the first thing I want to mention on this week's Indie Minute has to deal with you guys, most of you guys in the Pittsburgh area. Because Ring of Honor is coming to Pittsburgh this weekend.
Hot damn!
Wait, what? This weekend?
This weekend, the 5th.
What?
May 5th.
What?
Ring of Honor.
Wrestling, 60
I thought you were gonna say
It's
what?
not a good weekend for me.
Wrestling.
Is it? I completely had it marked for next weekend.
Nope, it is entirely
That's
this weekend.
unfortunate.
May 5th. Ring of Honor is going to be in Belle Vernon, PA, for an awesome event of theirs. Is it that? Wait, I may be wrong on that. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe the 11th, and I may be a big fat liar.
Yeah. I completely have my calendar for next week.
It is on the 11th. Okay, I apologize.
Okay.
So Ring of Honor is going to be in Pittsburgh.
Hey, they're going to be in Pittsburgh. Either way,
So
just
you guys
reminding
have
you.
more
Song of wrestling.
What?
I don't know what's going on.
I've been singing his theme song the whole time. Keep going with the fucking segment.
Theme songs happen in the beginning.
It's just like the
It's a bed.
just
It's
like
a music bed. 60 minutes of
Yeah, because
wrestling.
just like
me
the
talking is
big
going to
PP
set you
female.
to
60
sleep.
special WrestleFan minutes. 60 minutes of wrestling. 60 minutes of WrestleFan. Are you going? Can I just not hear you? What
No,
the fuck's
I
going
hear
on?
the lyrics.
Fucking go!
I want you to stop singing so bad.
It's a beautiful ambient background. It's beautiful. I have the voice of an angel. Everybody says so. Right,
I
Matt
agree.
Carlins?
At least you're
Combination of Fergie and Jesus, I believe.
Thank
That's what
you.
that reminds me of.
60 minutes of wrestling.
You guys in Pittsburgh get Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus the Briscoes for the World Tag Team Championships. You also get ACH versus Michael Elgin, which I'm super jealous about. So, yeah, go to that show on the 11th.
Michael Elgin isn't a real person.
It's a real person.
it's completely a real
So
person.
you've seen him live.
60
Like
minutes.
twice in one
for-
weekend.
Oh, my
It's
God.
the indie minute.
All right, now you're trying him out. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, WrestleFan, come on.
Ross River Ice Gardens, Belle Vernon, PA, ROHWrestling.com. Go get your tickets. It should be a fun time. Hopefully I'll hear of all you guys being there in the Pittsburgh area. So check it out.
Yay!
The next thing is our good friends at Chikara Pro Wrestling, who we talked about earlier in the show. They have events this weekend, and I'm doubly sure it's this weekend.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
May 3rd in Gibsonville, North Carolina, and May 4th in Porterdale, Georgia. Those should be some really, really awesome events. The May 3rd show in Gibsonville, North Carolina, the main event will be for the Grand Championship. Eddie Kingston defending against Green Ant. And then the May 4th, the winner of that match will then defend the championship against Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelosetti. And they have those events coming up. You can get your tickets at ChikaraPro.com. They also have their big Tag World Grand Prix coming up in Chicago, I believe. So that should be a really fun show as well. So go check them out. Go see a Chikara show. Go buy a Chikara DVD from Smart Mark Video. Go check them out because they're fun stuff. And you can, if you're at one of those events, you could listen to some sweet entrance music by our interviewee tonight, one Kenny Pickett. So go check them out and go support them at ChikaraPro.com. Also on May 3rd, which is this weekend,
Man.
IWC Wrestling is doing a big event, Road to Super Indie, preparing for their big Super Indie event that they hold every year. It's one of their biggest events of the year. Road to Super Indies, Elizabeth, PA, May 3rd. Sorgatron Media will be there.
Woo!
Doing stuff, filming stuff.
Yeah, we will.
The main event is a tag team matchup of Logan Shulo and Facade, two friends of the show, taking on Fabulous John McChesney and Bobby Fish. That should be an absolutely great matchup. And tons of other great stuff from Road to Super Indie. A lot of debuts for IWC, I believe, and a lot of qualifiers for the Super Indie tournaments that's coming up. So go check them out. Go support IWC. Go see Sorg.
Hi, I'll be there.
Tell him hi. Make his day. Give him a hug.
Yes. What? Sure.
Yeah.
Anthony Nese, Colin Delaney is also there. Rex Lawless is a new guy that's going to be around there. And I don't know if they're announcing some other. They are also going to announce at least two invitees of Super Indy. This is a pretty exciting time because it's when they kind of flesh out what the Super Indy tournament is going to be. So it's really cool to see who's going to qualify out of this. Again, a lot of new faces in here. It's going to be pretty good. I've been having a lot of fun at those shows lately. Even like the lower just out of training school guys have been really fun. So I love seeing the new faces that I haven't heard of. And then WrestleFan tells me, I can't believe you haven't heard of that guy. I'm like, well, I saw the dude and he had a pretty good match. And thank you for not telling me about him, WrestleFan. You're supposed to be the guy.
I do tell you about people. No one listens.
Can interrupt.
No one listens.
Is the date set for Super Indy?
Yes, it is. I believe it is. Hold on here.
Early June, I believe.
15th, I think.
Hey, I might actually make it out to that one.
You should.
Right here, June 15th.
I got a mind to head out there too.
There you
I've
go.
been wanting to take Lady Lunchbox to an indie show for a long time.
So far, Bobby Fish, Kyle Matthews, and it's got the two matches in here.
Kyle Matthews, that should be a really, really good.
Not a real person.
Yeah, Super Indy's great every year. Like sort of mentioned, you get to see newer guys. That sort of been names on the independent scene and people that are making their rise and will be named soon. So, go check them out. Go see some talent that you should be checking out. Should be a really awesome show. The last thing I want to talk about on the Indie Minute is something I actually just found out about today that I am super, super interested about. I'll have to double check on where this.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, no, that's fine. But Beyond Wrestling is a company that is known for sort of innovating in professional wrestling, doing a lot of different stuff. And they're also very big on fan service. So they announced apparently they're going to do an event for the public because they do their taped events where it's just them and the wrestlers, usually in like a warehouse of sorts. But they're actually doing live events as well. Their event on June 14th, entitled "We Care a Lot," is going to be a special event because as fans, you get to name your own ticket price.
Ooh.
You can pay $1 if you want to be a cheap ass. You can pay $15. You can pay whatever you want to get into that event. That's very interesting to me. I think it's an interesting concept for Beyond Wrestling. They're always, I think, on the edge of doing stuff revolutionary to pro wrestling, but also, like I mentioned, the fan service stuff. Very, willing to just do that for their fans. That's kind of amazing. Hopefully I can get more information on the event. I didn't actually see where the event's going to be held, but it should be a fun one. Beyond Wrestling has a lot of great talent. They put on a lot of interesting matches. So I encourage you to go check them out. Their website is lookmanofans.com. And go check out Beyond Wrestling because they're doing some really awesome stuff, and I definitely encourage. They're one of the companies that I fully endorse, and I think you should be checking out.
Excellent.
So go check them out, and that, my friends, is the Indie Minute for this week.
60 minutes of wrestling.
Alex Carr says $5 makes you holla on that one. $5. And with that, let's go to the break. A little bit more of Montreal Theory. Who are we talking to this week? And, of course, what's coming up in Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold by the app. We'll be right back with Remember When. Here, look who I found all the way out here in New Jersey, of all places, although it may be a little bit appropriate here. It's Brian McDowell and, this guy, Andrew Palace, not Carlito. Always funny, although, because Carlito is right over there. Have you, first of all, did you go talk to?
I was, but then he was just looking at me like, oh, man, that guy got better hair than me, and I didn't want to make him look bad. He's trying to sell autographs. I don't want to take that from him.
Yeah. So you guys liking to hear you're kind of checking out the con, seeing what's going on and everything?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I have to rush off fans that are trying to touch me and get my autograph. It's like, whoa. It's like, why don't you go to like Iron Sheik or somebody? Why are you coming to me? But yeah, it's a pretty awesome place. They got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of companies here. So
I think it's the first ever they've done it. How you enjoy it so far?
I'm sorry?
How are you enjoying it so far?
You know what? The only thing missing is bowling. Everything else is here, but I didn't see anything bowling related. Where's Bowling Con at?
Bowling? Why bowling? What are you talking about here?
Bowling Con. Where's Bowling Con at? But no, this is a great place. Got a lot of good stuff here. A lot of some vintage magazines and games and shirts. Good stuff here at WrestleCon.
What's up? Something? Oh, we got a Macho Man going on over here. Check this out. Back from the dead.
Back from the dead.
That's your boy, Palace.
So what are some crazy? What is the craziest thing you've seen so far?
I seen a guy in a panda suit.
Wait, you didn't notice the lady beside her?
Oh, no, Jake the Snake running.
Jake the Snake running. Yes, he was running. He was jogging down the lane earlier.
That was crazy.
DDP Yoga's changing lives everywhere.
Awesome. You guys enjoy your weekend here.
Thank you, Sorg.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Hey. All right, back to Mayhem.
There's got to be some way. This is getting really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I feel like we boxed ourselves in.
Over at WrestleCon this year. Oh, drop the thing again.
WrestleFan, don't you judge me.
I'm not judging. There's no judging.
Don't you judge me. I'll do what I want with
There we
my...
go. Can you hear me?
Doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah, until you hit 25 and you realize you're fucking poor as shit. So you're like, whoa, maybe I should be a grown-up.
Here at WrestleCon for the Montreal Theory with some of the most eclectic and unique personalities in professional wrestling, we are investigating everybody's Montreal Theory. Could Brett have been in on it? Where is the divide between fantasy and reality? I'm joined by someone who I've speculated for years about the divide between fantasy and reality. He is formerly the New Horror, currently the Death Machine. He is Sammy Callahan, a young man I've known way too long, who's going a lot of great places right now. Sammy, thank you for joining us here at our special table.
Absolutely, man. It's great to be here at WrestleCon. It's great to do a little interview with you, have a nice family reunion. No voice because I've wrestled 89 times this weekend.
You sound like the Sandman right now.
I know, it's like Sandman mixed with a little bit of Brian Pillman right now.
Yo, Pillman 9mm. Anyway, we're talking about the Montreal Theory. We have obviously copies here for sale, which you can get right now at MontrealTheory.com. Now, Monsieur Callahan, what is your opinion on Montreal? You've been a lifelong fan. You've obviously studied this. You know all about the business ins and outs. You're on pretty much every seminar I ever see footage of, so you're a student of the game. What is your opinion on Montreal?
It's one of those things, like, I remember being back in middle school and high school, and me and my friends would be sitting around at night, like 2, 3 in the morning, just nothing better to do. And, like, we'd always get in the conversation, like, yo, you think Montreal might have been, like, a gimmick? Like, did it happen? Like, maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was something that, like, was totally planned. But, like, even if it was real, like, it's something real, fake. Like, it's something that changed the business. Like, it's something that completely, like, it started the entire Attitude Era. It's what, like, really cemented, like, the next big wrestling boom. And, like it or not, like, it's one of the most influential things in all professional wrestling.
No, it absolutely is. Now, you look at so much evidence. We talk about so much on the DVD about the fact there was a film crew present, about the fact that there's so much of a linear equation throughout the year leading up to it. Was there anything that you can look back on in the build-up to Montreal that really catches your eye as a red flag?
Well, like, the whole thing was, like, there was always, like, they were starting to do that whole character thing with Vince. When Vince was slowly starting to get more angry and more, like, vile, and not just being, like, the voice behind WWE. You're seeing him on camera more. You're seeing him as a character instead of just someone that you hear his voice and just the owner of the company. And Vince kind of threw him out there. Like, they did the whole thing. Like, Vince and Brett did the whole thing. They got in scuffles around ringside. They spit in Vince's face. Like, all that stuff built up. And like you said, there's a camera crew there. I remember watching Wrestling with Shadows and, like, you know what? That was perfect timing to do a documentary because it was right when all this happened.
So all a little bit too convenient. And Sammy, now you've been in the best and the highest and the lowest parts of independent professional wrestling. You've seen the unpredictability. You've seen the con jobs. You've seen everything that's gone on. You know, to anybody that may be a little bit closed-minded as far as these people are full of crap. I mean, would anything in this business surprise you? I mean, how likely is this possibility?
anything's possible in professional wrestling, and everybody knows that. Like, that's a part of it, or even wrestling fans. You never know what's going to happen. Like, if you don't believe it, like, you should always be open-minded and at least buy the DVD or check it out and just hear other opinions, because it might change the way you think about things.
Absolutely. Sami Callihan, what's next for Sami Callihan personally now? Well, you certainly have conquered so many independent promotions. You are at the top of your game. You're all over the place. What's the next step for Sami Callihan, the professional wrestler, right now?
I got some great news a couple weeks ago. I actually just got booked on Mars. First wrestling show on Mars. I got to get in a space shuttle. It's like a 6-month trip all the way to Mars, but I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be revolutionary.
I think we just killed our credibility of the whole interview there. But this is Sami Callihan. He is the Death Machine. He has a really nice vest. I'm very well acquainted with it. And somebody who certainly knows all about screw jobs in pro wrestling, Sami Callihan, joining us. And you can join us, too, at MontrealTheory.com.
Oh, man, that Mayhem Show Gold gets me every time. Folks, welcome back to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm glad you're here. It's time for a little segment. You're just in time for, remember when? I don't have video. I can't tell when you're done cycling through everyone. Just say when you are.
I think I'm done.
Is it now?
Yeah.
I should go ahead?
Yeah.
This week, we were talking a little bit about Sheamus being a dickhole, and Riz talked a little bit about WWE knowing about heel turns. So this week on Remember When, we're going to talk about some classic heel turns, ones that really broke our hearts.
Yep.
I can think of a couple. One, I wasn't there for the exact turn, but I will say that after I stopped wrestling for a little while, watching wrestling, and came back to wrestling, and Bret Hart was a heel, that kind of made me sad. Aside from that, the most memorable one for me was probably Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty. It's it's probably like Hackney at this point, but I was a big Rockers fan, and he booted him through that window, and I was a little kid, and I was pissed. Pissed. Hated Shawn Michaels for years. He was the Cyclops of wrestling for me, whereas if he was the Cyclops, Bret Hart was the Wolverine. Nerds. Wrestle fan. What about you?
I have one in mind that is sort of one of my favorites. It's not, I guess, prominently a lot of people's favorites, but it is mine. It happened, the actual turn happened at WrestleMania 20 in 2004. And that was the heel turn by one now recent WWE Hall of Famer, Trish Stratus.
Yes, that was good.
Against Chris Jericho. It started one of my favorite eras of Trish Stratus, which was bitchy heel Trish Stratus, which was amazing. She was so good at it. She was awesome. I really loved that stuff. I loved her decorum with Jericho. And honestly, we talk about the whole show, Sheamus is really a heel, he's doing dickish stuff. The Trish Stratus heel turn was very much justified. For a lot of people that remember, Chris Jericho was the one that was like betting money to have sex with Trish Stratus and all this stuff, and she kind of got back at him. But she sort of was a transformation, and it became one of my favorite eras of Trish Stratus and one of my personal favorite heel turns. So Matt Carlins, what was your favorite heel turn in professional wrestling?
Well, since we're talking about heartbreaking heel turns, I'm going to throw out The Rock at the Survivor Series tournament to crown the WWF champion at the time. And if you recall, The Rock was kind of on his way up. He was back being a good guy, apparently being a good guy. And everyone thought Mankind was the guy who was in Vince McMahon's back pocket. And then by the end of the night, they did a switcheroo and revealed that, in fact, it was The Rock. And he became the corporate champion. And that was heartbreaking for a lot of fans because they were at that point already where everyone wanted to start to cheer The Rock. And The Rock just they cut him off. All the fans were just left there hanging, and The Rock proceeded to drag him down the heel road for a good while. But that was a good heartbreaking heel turn because a lot of people, everyone would seem to be getting behind The Rock. They were ready to get behind The Rock, and then WWF just pulled the rug right out from everyone.
Excellent. Man, Mike in the chat room it says Crush turning on Macho Man.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
That was good.
Oh, that was a good one.
I want to one up on this one, and I think one that comes to mind is one Jake the Snake Roberts turning on the Ultimate Warrior. Remember, Warrior was like he was looking to Warrior for guidance, right? And then Warrior was like, I don't know, was he trying to? I think he was trying to like help him through the darkness or something like that, and then ended up locking him in a room with a bunch of snakes. I mean, this was like the advent of like the Jake the Snake that ended up like teaming with Undertaker and ruining the Macho Man's wedding and biting him with the snake and all that kind of stuff. So it was a pretty significant turn. And that was like the creepy Jake the Snake Roberts, right? Because he had been I think he was a face for a good long time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is really funny because he works so much better as a heel with that attitude he has. But
quiet voice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what comes to mind for me. So tell us what's your favorite turn? Let's see. Jake Manning turning on Freight Train from the WrestleFan. Hulk Hogan turning on the Hulkamania and joining the NWO.
I was surprised that didn't come up sooner.
I think it's the obvious one, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of like bringing up Randy Savage turning on Hulk Hogan when they were the Mega Powers. It's just it's so famous. It's hard to.
And I feel like it doesn't feel like heel turns just kind of got so diluted thanks to like that era of WCW after that, For the first 2 or 3 months, when we got to 5 or 6 members on WO, we're like, we don't really care who turns anymore, But they still did it. Randy was totally justified. I'm guessing he's saying on the Hogan thing. Bobby says turning on Hulk Hogan to join Earthquake. Who?
Tugboat.
Oh yeah,
good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that up there. Okay. That's a good one. That's a really good one. All right, with that, let's go to Mad Mike. What?
I was going to say another one I forgot that was a huge bummer, mainly because I was a kid and a fan at the time, was Owen turning heel on Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great feud, but God, that was a downer.
They had some pretty good, because it was at the Survivor Series, and then they had the match at WrestleMania, which was the kind of extra match. So Brett had, in that tournament they had for title, right? So
that was WrestleMania 10.
That was interesting.
And it's time for some comments from the unwashed masses. From one Bobby F. J. Town sending in some comments from the WWE Facebook page.
Man, it's from the masses.
The first one, Caitlin, I love you, baby. Your is my champion.
Yeah.
Also, not just the your is my champion part. He also spelled your Y-O-U-R. So even if it was you're my champion, it's still not right. So you're dumb. Whoever wrote that.
Fan with the grammar.
It's important.
From the college.
I did not learn that in college.
If he would only use it on his own tweets.
I love you there, woman! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Is so hot, so sexy, and ... I'm excited. And then it's the smiley face with the 9. I don't know what that is. It a tongue out? I guess. I don't understand emoticons. The final one.
Use your imagination.
I don't speak emoticon.
I don't speak emoticon. Have you seen emoji? Fuck that. WWE needs to ask Goldberg to appears again. This is the only things that the show would run better. ... You have to ask Goldberg! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Or he will not show up on WWE again. ... And one more thing about Vince Russo, because you said something about Vince Russo before. I think WWE should rehire him again. He was the best writer for WWE.
What?
Awesome. There's some notes here in the round table. Who put these notes in here?
I have no idea.
I put one note in there.
Okay.
Did a paragraph?
And it's mainly for what Scott Hall tweeted.
Okay, well, explain what happened with Scott Hall.
Oh, I don't have the notes up.
Oh, okay. Well, it says here, Scott Hall, we were told that there was zero reaction for Ryback coming out after the TV main event, and that people were more concerned with fleeing the building to get to their cars. Scott Hall on Twitter warned CM Punk that if this thing didn't get over, he was going to get a call soon. He also told Fandango to stop doing the top rope leg drop, or there would be a hip replacement in his future. I guess say that last part because there was a couple people that did those. There was one of the new Heavenly Bodies that used to be on Between the Ropes. He talked about I did the leg drop or something off the top rope, and I knew I was going to have hip problems later. So that's one of those things to kind of watch out for yourself.
Well, yeah. Has Bobby Eaton has his hip replacement surgery yet?
I'm not sure.
He's the one I always think of when I think of the top rope leg drop.
Yeah. And it's one of those things we've seen a lot of these guys like our AJ Styles and the Samoa Joes and everybody kind of slow down. You know what I mean? We wish they did the insane Ring of Honor stuff that kind of got them a name for themselves. But all these guys have to slow down. They have to realize we can't do that. Forever.
Yeah, and there's some people that are going to be smart about it, and there's some people that aren't. And they're just going to keep going.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think some of the people, some of your old ECW guys, are trying to do the same things they did 15 years ago and just look ridiculous because they can't go anymore like that.
Well, even like someone I saw an interview that someone did with Edge, where he was talking about his whole neck surgery thing, and they mentioned Kurt Angle, and he was like, "Yeah, I worry about the guy." I was lucky enough to get out when I did, and he's still wrestling nowadays. And Kurt Angle kind of sent out a tweet, a very Kurt Angle-esque tweet about how you should probably just worry about yourself or whatever. But
he was ass.
Yeah, he was a good comparison though. Edge knew when to when to stop.
To that, everybody's different too. Like his neck injury might be different than Angle's. And their body reacts differently, and they heal differently. He got the call, and he was just like, okay, this is a good spot.
It is interesting that as WWE has switched to this kind of more low impact style, that spurt of neck injuries that we saw back there when it was like Edge and Benoit and Angle. And I think Rhino, I'm trying to think of some other ones. There was just this huge cluster of neck injuries, and they all had to have this horrific same surgery. Yeah. And it's kind of gone away in recent years. You haven't really seen that as much, which is good.
Which is exactly it, because it's okay, we love that you do this crazy stuff, once in a while. We don't want you guys killing yourselves every time, because then we don't have you. Then you have incidents. And then we get incidents like what's happening now with John Cena's Achilles heel that just seems out of nowhere. He's not doing anything special.
Just like a Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, John Cena injury. Just when he's probably at the hottest comeback point he could be, right?
I will say with John Cena is that he's been at it for just so long and just this grueling schedule. Yeah, he's 36 years old now. He's older than me. And I don't think I could last out there for more than a month. Eventually John Cena's going to break down.
My God,
he's not going to be coming back.
I think
it seems like he keeps working through nagging injuries. So wasn't it a year ago when we all thought he had this arm injury through Extreme Rules after the match with Lesnar, and we thought that he was going to go away for a while. He never went away. He hung around. Yep. He ended up having another injury, and that's how Ryback came about. These little nagging injuries keep popping up with Cena, and just you worry that the big one is right around the corner for him.
Yeah, there's the one that puts him out for a year, and then what do you do?
I feel like in a few years, or maybe 4 or 5 or something like that, he could have the opportunity to be like a Triple H or the Undertaker and just work selectively and sort of not have that rigorous schedule, that sort of takes more out of you.
It's so weird.
I'd be surprised if he made it that long. I can't see Cena lasting 4 or 5 more years. I'm thinking 2 years solid before you've got to pull him back to the part-time schedule. I can't see him working a full schedule 2 years from now. It doesn't seem possible.
He's one of those guys that's going to go until he can't anymore. You know, he really seems like he's at that spot. I don't know. And then you think, like, okay, do they have enough to build up? We were talking, I don't know if it was on here on the Hangout, where we're talking about, like, you know, look at all the guys that are just kind of floating right now. They got plenty of guys to step up if he does go down for a few. They don't need Ryback, you know. They can do Sheamus, Orton, Big Show, Mark Henry, Del Rio, Swagger, Dolph. They got plenty of people to fill the void if he has to step out for 6 months, let's say. It's not a problem, you know, as far as like what WWE going to do without Cena. It's like, you really think Cena, unless he's like having a completely debilitated injury, he's not still going to be freaking everywhere. You know, it has to be, if it doesn't impede his traveling, he will be everywhere he can for that company until somebody says, no, stop it, you know. But that's what Hogan did for how long, you know? Until finally he got hurt, and then hurt, and then hurt, and then hurt, and wasn't really the same again. He actually quit for the longest time until they talked him into coming back. So, I think, it's going to start biting him soon. So, what about this Ryback thing? Are we concerned about Ryback? Nobody cares about Ryback anymore. You know, is the Ryback over? Did they shoot that train in the foot?
I think Ryback's amazing right now.
Yeah, you dig it?
I don't get what people's problem with it is. I think there's a lot of complexity to the storyline now, and you know there's a lot of him obviously reading cue cards and promos is probably not the greatest.
Yeah, there's
I
would
prefer without that, but no, I think this storyline makes sense. I think it's really coming together. They're being real creative with it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board the Ryback train. Like, they're not. Like, I feel like they pushed him really hard at first, and they got some resistance for that, which is fine. But you know, reading cue cards, whatever. That's not everybody's forte. But he's settling into his I'm an angry monster role, and he does it well. So, you know, good for him.
There was so much editing going on with that match for that main event last night. It's like every hour it was a different main event.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I thought that was like, wow, that's great. Okay,
but it made sense. Like,
yeah, it did though. I like the walkout. That was, you know,
the whole evolution of Ryback saying, "Oh, with John Cena's injury, I'm going to be on my own out there. He's not going to have my back tonight. I'm not going to do that."
Yeah.
And then John Cena, you know, being like, "Oh, that injury's not going to keep me down in this match, and it's not going to affect me," and it affected him.
Yeah. Which is like kind of like what we're talking about John Cena in general and his injuries being played out in storyline, right? So at least they're going to build something out of it. They're going to give him a good reason to not be at Extreme Rules or whatever they end up doing, right? Yeah. So I attended were there other thoughts? Am I stepping on anybody else's thoughts on that?
No.
Nope. All right.
So let's talk about your fun times.
My fun times. I went to TNA last week. We had thanks to Basic Sickness, who does the theme for this song, actually hooked me up with some ticket vouchers for it. It's like an hour and a half out of the city, so that was kind of rough. But it was pretty good. It was on the campus of IUP out there in Indiana, PA. Definitely a smaller arena, you know. It was just kind of like a college, you know, basketball arena. Kind of nice because the way it was one of those you come up on the platform and like you go into concessions. You don't miss anything. You can look down at the ring. Yes, Riz. Yes, Riz's IUP that he graduated from. And
Riz, who wasn't there.
Riz, who did not bother to go, even though it was his school that it was at. That he graduated from. It was a good show. They started off with an explosion match, which was a match I would like to see as opposed to Superstars. You know, I think it was like Magnus and somebody. But the other explosion match they did later after the live Impact taping ended up being James Storm and Joey Ryan. I know, what's explosion? And they went through the live taping. You know, went through it pretty quick for the live taping, and it was like the SmackDown before, where they recorded it like pretty much an hour in advance. And then they slammed right through the second taping. We didn't see any vignettes or anything. Obviously, most of that stuff wouldn't be done from this happened last week stuff, because they do a lot of editing on those things. We were out there by 10:15, Mike mentioned about, hey, that was a crappy Impact for you to attend. First, did any of you guys catch Impact this past week?
Fine.
Is this a rough? No.
I did. I catch the tail end of it, but I caught up with it a bit. It was fine. I mean,
I think we had two women's matches that looked pretty good from my angle, but that's probably a loaded comment. Yeah. The crowd. Nice, the crowd was really
into it. She beat the shit out of her ex-boyfriend. She's not a nice lady.
What? Oh, what? Nice lady.
That's right. She's the one that beat up
McIntyre.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was probably asking for it.
Between like the matches you guys saw on TV, and then there was a tag team match the next week. It's like, wow, that's right. These are all the girls we liked from WWE that could actually go, And to see two Divas matches on Impact, I thought was awesome. They're actually doing something with them there.
To see two Divas matches on Impact.
What's that?
Two Divas matches on Impact.
Yeah, basically. Right? Because every time I'm sitting there saying, like, okay, diva, the referee's the only one not a diva. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, and in that knockouts match was like a submission match, so practically with how did they go with the Velvet Sky's injury, and it was awesome to be there with the lights out thing. I mean, that just kind of gets you going,
Yeah.
And everybody still loves Hogan. They're getting out of the Impact Zone where people can care about Hogan again. I went. I was like, if you liked Hogan or Sting for like 5 minutes anytime in your wrestling fandom and didn't get chills being there, in person when they did that, bad spot, yes, it's the same stuff. What are you going to do with these guys?
I think the problem is when you've seen it like every week.
Yeah, and I'm
I think that's the problem.
And it's not just Hogan where they were going with it.
Not just Hogan and Sting, but this whole Sting comes in and he returns. They had him return to attack Aces and Eights like five times in like 6 months. Like it's no, just no.
And again, I haven't been watching as long as you had. I took that break before lockdown, so I haven't seen this 5 times like you have.
TNA has its moments, and just like any wrestling.
And like you said, it's pretty. And now I didn't see anybody that was like an explicit Impact fan like you did. I think people were just like there to like see wrestling. You know what I mean? See Hulk Hogan. See potentially Sting. He was all over the poster, so I was hoping he'd show up.
No Hardy,
no Samoa Joe, but they've been kind of written off right now, anyways.
Yeah.
But generally, I for a live experience, whether you're watching the show or not, I think it was really good to go. It's a cheaper ticket than going to Raw. There's not a bad seat in the house because it's so small. And I think that's fine, and I think it looked great on TV from the little bit I saw. So that's kind of my and I did get to see this next week's Impact pretty cool three-way with Sabin, Zema Ion, and Sanjay Dutt, actually.
Nice.
So,
I heard that was good. Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely the second one. I mean, this Impact is not going to be as good, but if you guys are seeing the pattern, we have the really good main events, what's going to happen shows as that live one. And then that second show is going to be your kind of setup show, because it really was kind of lame match-wise and everything in comparison. We had a Divas match, knockout tag match that didn't mean anything. We ended up having Matt Morgan and Sting. Spoilers, sorry. It just didn't feel as awesome as that first one. They had that Full Metal Mayhem was the live one. The tag team match was where they won the belts was a live one. So I mean, you're going to have that, and I think it makes sense for what they're doing, and it's really cool that they're getting out on the road the way they are. So,
Sorg, let me ask you this real quick. Are you a little bit like we know that TNA has scaled back on their pay-per-views, how many they're doing every year.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that there hasn't been kind of like a build towards like one of these middle-of-the-road shows, like a Clash of the Champions kind of philosophy?
I think
that we haven't kind of see that play out yet.
I think you do have that, though. Because I think they did that a couple weeks ago with the Full Metal Mayhem and the tag, like 2 out of 3 falls tag match. Because that's the show that they get on, and they're like, this is a pay-per-view feel kind of night, right? I think that was your first look at that. But then they have special things like the the fight nights and everything. I think because it felt like again, partial spoiler here, but Sting's going to say, he begs, explains himself and says, Hogan, hey, let me get a team together and let me take on 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 or whatever it is. Aces and eights. So I mean, which is something they would do at a pay-per-view, and I know you've seen that a million times.
Something they've been doing for like 5 months.
But isn't it great? You're not going to have to pay $30 to see that now.
Okay.
I think it's great as long as it's well promoted.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to grab.
Well, you're taking this.
It's hard for me to make time for TNA.
We're gonna have the same match lockdown, but let's take away.
And I'm kind of looking for that big show that's going to draw me in, and I just hadn't sensed that had happened over the last.
Yeah. And, well, again, I think that having a Full Metal TLC match on a show that was pretty decent. I think that's how you do that. But they're doing the things on those shows. They're doing the thing with this like Sting match, multi-man match that would have been a pay-per-view. We kept complaining for how long about how the pay-per-views are just another Impact, and now the Impacts are just another pay-per-view. But we don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of this is Turning Point or some other Phil Collins song, in between things. All we have to do is say everybody's talking about, we're not like. The Bound for Glory series is coming, so we're going to spread that tournament across these 3 pay-per-views, and they don't really matter as much. So why the heck do I care about getting this pay-per-view? Now it's just spread across Impact, and more important things you're going to find are happening on Impact. And it's
Remember when they did the TNA Susu Studio? That was a good show.
I think I liked Easy Lover.
Easy Lover, yeah.
But anyways, I think they're on the right track as far as that goes.
Can I chime in real quick on this?
Go ahead.
As long as TNA hangs their hat on Hulk Hogan and a lesser degree Sting, they will fail. Sting and Hulk Hogan is an albatross.
Yeah.
He is a rock that is tied to the ankles of TNA and dragging them down. They will never do anything new or interesting or innovative as long as he is coming out every night, putting himself in all his storylines. It's bad. I'm so tired of hearing about Hulk Hogan.
I had a discussion with somebody about this weekend. Hogan, whatever you want to think about his past career and all that stuff, he is like the biggest like infantile person when it comes to like wrestling companies. I doubt WWE will ever do it now, but if they were still desperate like they were, the minute WWE calls him up, he's gonna leave TNA, and but then once Vince McMahon pisses him off or doesn't do something Hulk Hogan wants, he's out. He did that with WCW. Dude. He teased that with. Remember the first time he was teasing going to TNA when he was in Japan?
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett knocked him over the head. That was basically Hogan like just teasing Vince and saying, "Oh, I'll do it," and then Vince brought him back in.
Yep.
It's because Hogan used to be the master at playing those weird games. Like, he would be in WCW, and he would schedule time off on his contract, and he'd be off TV during, like, NBA playoffs and things like that when he knew the ratings would be low because people would be watching that other things. And then when it was over, he would come back to WCW and say, the ratings went down when I wasn't on TV.
Yeah.
It's something that he was always really good at, but he's not as good at it anymore.
Yeah, you kind of
because the magic's gone and he's not as a commodity anymore. It's not necessary. They're not. WWE doesn't live or die because of Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's totally tarnished his own legend.
Hey, WWE's been really good about not having that cornerstone anymore. Like, yes, there's John Cena. We talk about a little bit. What would they do without John Cena? They got plenty to do.
They
without
could
John
do
Cena.
things.
They got. I mean, he's maybe their top T-shirt seller, but they got plenty to back him up that can just step right into the role. You know, I mean, they got great characters. They have how many great characters that are mid-card in it just because they can't give everybody a belt, even though they got plenty to go around. It's not. If he can't put himself in that value player role, you know. But on the other hand, I think they do get a lot of traction because he's there. It is a little bit of, hey, here's the big boys, you know.
There's people that, I'm not going to lie, there's not people, you know, going to Impact and saying, oh, look, Hulk Hogan's on the show, we should go to
But
this.
when you only attract, you know, what feels like the IUP Stadium based on Hulk Hogan, like I feel like Hulk Hogan, I don't know, maybe it is the devalue thing, but I feel like Hulk Hogan should fill an arena. Or should fill
I think it says a lot to how TNA is doing right now. When you mentioned Sorg about the fans that were at that taping, and you were like, these are people that are here because there's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
There's wrestling
This
happening.
is like the biggest thing coming to this town, you know. What did I say? It's like the West Newton crowd for RWA just, you know, multiplied, you know, because it did feel like that crowd, you know, that really into a crowd, you know, and Borash and all them do a really good job in saying, you know how they keep them loud. I'm wondering how that Divas championship match played out on TV, because right before it they said, hey, as soon as this bell rings, you guys get as loud as possible, and 10 of you are coming backstage.
I love that you called it a Divas championship match.
It was though. It's like freaking Mickey James, okay?
You've been totally brainwashed. It used to be called women's wrestling, Sword. You drank that Kool-Aid.
Knockouts.
There's
a butterfly belt. The dream is dead. I'm sorry. The women's wrestling dream is dead.
Fabulous Moolah never existed.
No.
There was no
the
women's
wrestling dream is dead. That's a bold statement.
My God. Mae Young's giving birth to a hand. They're not even in Playboy anymore. I don't know why that's related. But, jeez. What
happened to Heidi Lee Morgan?
Hey, wait. How is it? This is a whole nother tangent. We got to stop after this. But how is it? You know, TNA is really good on taking advantage of the thing that WWE just dropped. How is it that a knockout has not been in Playboy or at least Penthouse or something by now?
Because they've all been in porn. There's no reason
they've already been naked.
Oh, okay. But I mean, just like it feels like I always feel okay. It always feels like they're like,
you know why they haven't been in Playboy? Because Lee South is putting photos on the new Knockouts website of them like wrapped in saran wrap.
Yeah, they're weird pictures.
That's why they aren't in.
They're not very like the site is interesting.
I've seen enough of Velvet Sky's right nipple that I don't need to see her in fucking Playboy.
You haven't done anything interesting with knockout pictures since Tech Snatch.
What's this site?
I don't even know what. I think it's just Impact Wrestling / Knockouts.
There's some knockout site. And
yeah.
They're all wrapped in saran wrap. I don't know what the fuck is with Lee South. Like, I don't know why he's like, let's put a deconstructed computer and you playing with an Xbox controller with, no frontal clothing on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about those SoCal Val pictures?
Yeah, SoCal Val.
Don't you fucking talk bad about SoCal Val. She is an angel, sir. She is an angel.
I'm not talking bad about SoCal Val. I'm talking about
you can talk about fucking what's her name all you want, but you don't ever malign the legendary SoCal Val.
Matt, your thoughts on
Pretty Girls
anything?
Wrestling is always okay for me for a few minutes, but I'm just aghast that you can't bring yourself to call them women. They're divas, no matter where they are. You like walk around the mall and you're like, look at that hot diva over there in the food court.
They're not women wrestlers. They're divas or knockouts. They're hardly even human. Okay, anyways, guys, this has been this is time to learn.
No.
What?
No. I have one last thing.
Okay.
WrestleFan and I made a deal.
Oh?
Oh, yes.
In regards to some other wrestling that nobody watches.
Yeah, nobody watches it.
Yeah, what was the deal? I'm gonna watch 12 episodes of NXT, but what are you gonna watch?
I'm gonna watch a full season of Arrested Development.
Oh, the first season of Arrested Development, and I think it was it me and AJ or me and
you and Riz? I think
Riz, yeah.
I never said 2 seasons, Riz. I said a season. Stop adding shit.
We brokered this deal knowing full well that WrestleFan, you're going to watch 1 season, realize that it's the best thing that's ever happened, and just watch the other seasons.
Yeah, that's gonna happen with you in NXT.
That's likely.
I gotta say, you can feel free to skip all the Raw rebounds too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
that makes it a little easier. You're not watching it in a complete hour because it's like
I didn't need your permission for that.
No, I'm just letting you know that you will be skipping like a quarter of the show because it's just recapping all the shit you've seen on all the other shows.
Some of the recaps are good though. I like their WrestleMania recap.
But I see them on every other fucking show.
No. I'm talking about the one where. Did you see the one where it's like, this is all of our NXT guys and what they did during WrestleMania weekend? Like they showed like.
Okay, I think that's the last show I was watching, and I need to catch up with that one. So.
Yeah. So seriously, people, you shouldn't have to make bets with people to watch NXT, but we're gonna do it anyways.
Well, I shouldn't have to make a bet for you to watch the best fucking show that's ever been on television, Arrested fucking Development. But here we are.
I was really going to watch it anyways.
Guys.
But I really just want you to watch NXT so we can stop making jokes.
You're full of shit.
Hey.
You want to fucking do comedy, you want to do improv, you have to watch Arrested Development.
Matt Carlins,
it is golden.
What did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that I should be watching NXT. And I learned that Super Indie is coming up on June 15th.
Mainstream media man.
I'm going to be at Super Indie.
There you
so
go.
Help me God, I got a new work schedule. My weekends will soon be mine again. And I will be at goddamn Super Indie.
Take it back.
Pennsylvania. Just like 15 minutes down the road.
Take it back. Damn the man.
Stagger there.
Damn the man. Yep. Papa Lunchbox, what'd you learn?
I learned that Matt Carlins is going to be at Super Indie.
Maybe.
And I am going to also endeavor to go to Super Indie and bring Lady Lunchbox.
WrestleFan, WF?
I learned that Zubaz are back. They are back, my friend.
I love that you just discovered Zubaz.
Okay.
It makes me so happy.
In 2 days, Sunday and Monday, I saw 2 people wearing Zubaz. One in person.
Dude,
Sunday, I went to a Lucha Libre show, and Pro Wrestling Texas talent Mr. Jack Jameson was wearing Zubaz. Follow Jack Jameson at Jameson's Beard. And Ricardo busted out Zubaz on Raw, and it was amazing. Zubaz are coming back.
Riz says that Zubaz never left, and I know I saw like 5 wrestlers walking around at him at WrestleCon. So
it's like the fanny pack.
That's like a uniform. Yeah. Zubaz, fanny pack. Am I missing anything, LB? White Nikes.
Snap bracelets.
White Nikes. Yeah.
LB, real quick, you should probably start calling Lady Lunchbox Diva Lunchbox.
Diva Lunchbox. Yep.
Yes.
She is.
Drink that Kool-Aid.
She is into women's rights. She will not like that at all.
I was going to say, she'll rip your dick off.
She would react more favorably to me calling her Dr. Buttsnake than me calling her Diva Lunchbox.
Wow. Huh. From the chat room, Bobby says he learned that Cesaro should turn face after doing Make-A-Wish in Switzerland. And Mike learned that Ryback's new catchphrase should be "Yip, yip, yip. Who's next?"
Yes.
I also learned that Caitlyn's stalker is, in fact, Karma. I thought that hat was like straight out of the Super Mario Brothers movie myself. And I learned how much people think wrestling is real. I finally got to see some of the footage that'll be out in the next couple of days from RWA last, where they followed the Ryans to the car.
Oh boy.
I can't wait to edit this thing tomorrow. Anyways, with that, Matt Carlins, our friend in the mainstream media.
Thank you so much, Sorg. I hope I didn't screw this up for myself. I'd love to be back sometime, but not too soon.
Okay.
Back in my ivory tower now.
Where's your blog?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
Name's too long.
50 matches.
I'm now accepting suggestions for what I should rename my blog. Please send me your wrestling tropes, and I will rename everything to something more simple. In the meantime, at Matt Carlins.
There you go. Get him, and sometimes you'll find him on a random Vine from Kitty K.
It's been known to happen.
Like, I don't know why. I'm like, oh, Kitty K is vining, and I was like, wait, I know that guy.
Do you know how long it took for us to put that together?
Really?
She had that cell phone in my face like 15 times, me trying to do that thing.
Oh, no.
New. Ugh. Vine is internet code for torture.
LB's at DJ Lunchbox, ThoughtfulRiot.com.
Yep, those are the things. And thoughtfulriot.tumblr.com if you're a fan of Doctor Who or really random animal gifs.
There you go. The WrestleFans at the WrestleFan and WrestleFanRights.blogspot.com. I can never remember which of those services it's on.
It's actually it's .net.
No, it's not .net.
It's .org. He's a nonprofit.
And that is true. I do
Donate
make no profit from writing about wrestling shows.
At Sorgatron, at Sorgatron.com, SorgatronMedia.com for all things wrestling, tech, and other things going on, whatever we're producing over there. WrestlingMayhemShow.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, YouTube. You can drop us a line at
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, 412-206-WMS0. Buy the app WMS Gold on your Amazon App Store or iOS App Store. This has been the show. Thank you, Kenny Pickett, for that wonderful rendition of Elizabeth earlier on the show. Go check out his Kickstarter. And thanks to everybody in the chat room, live.sorgatronmedia.com. You can join us here roundabout every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time till whenever the hell we're going to finish. Whenever we get the show. Whenever we get it right. Right, Lunchbox?
That's exactly right.
And we got the rights tonight. So with that, thanks everybody. Mayhem Show out.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack.